Hello, welcome to For the Exposure podcast. It's your host, Tiffany. Today, it's really a blast from the past. I have with me here Lindsey Ward. She is a crazy good drummer. She's YouTube famous. She's everything famous. And we actually went to Catholic school together like 20 or so years ago. Lindsey, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
We did have a quick recap before just diving into recording because we realized it's been like 20 years since we've even seen each other or spoken like this. But I was trying to remember, like, how did we get back in touch? And I think it was because our mutual friend, she had like maybe shared something. I looked and I was like, oh my God, is that Lindsey? She actually started drumming. I wonder if she still likes Gwen Stefani. All these memories just came flooding back. And I remembered how much you loved the emo punk phase that we were all a fan of. And I can vouch for you as like from age, 8 or 9, you have been obsessed with Gwen Stefani. I think that's probably still a thing, I'm assuming, right?
Oh, yeah. They're no doubt still my favorite band. So, yeah, that never changed.
Oh, have you ever gotten to meet her?
No. She is like the one person that I have not met yet. Like everyone else that I have been or have admired or obsessed with my whole life,
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity to meet. She is the only one.
Oh shit. Wow. I think it's bound to happen. There's been years of investment on your part for this not to happen.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Let's hope.
So where in the world are you?
I'm in Arizona right now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm low key maybe trying to get back there eventually. I love New York. It's just getting so expensive. And I have thought to myself, but what if I do go back to Arizona? I think that would involve like a lot less work that I do in person and probably try to do more of like the remote session stuff. Do you do any of that?
I do. Yeah. I have a pretty nice little setup here, which I don't know if this is somewhere I want to stay forever. But for now, it's working out great. So I do have a studio with all my gear set up that I just have in a permanent spot, which is really nice. So session work is something that I really want to get more heavily involved in it.
You mentioned about maybe like living somewhere else. Where do you see yourself living if not in Arizona?
Well, I was in LA for 6 years.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
it just was not for me. Like I really, really enjoyed it the first maybe 2 years or so. And then I just got so burnt out with the grind of trying to pursue music while I was working 2 full-time jobs just so I could live there because it was so expensive. So it just slowly kind of got to the point where music was just becoming less and less and less of an opportunity. And I've actually had more work since moving back to Arizona than I ever did when I lived in LA, which is so bizarre. But I think that's all just because of social media. If I wasn't here, I think Nashville would probably be somewhere that I would be interested in going.
You are not the first musician who has told me Nashville. I know 2 musicians that moved from New York to Nashville. I think mostly for like cost of living, but they said like the scene was really good. I'm going to go to Nashville for the first time next month, so I'm excited. I've never been.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
I've never been either. You'll have to let me know what you think.
Yeah,
I'm very curious.
It'll be a mix of like people that are on the tour that I'm currently on. I mean, I'm on break right now, but like half of the crew is from Nashville. So they're like, oh yeah, we got to go here, here, here. Oh, but we don't want to do these things. And I'm like, well, I've never been there. So I kind of have to do some of those touristy things first. Oh yeah. And then I'll come meet you guys. Would you ever consider being in New York or anything like that? Or is it just too crazy?
I've thought about it. I've only been once and it was on tour. And I didn't really get to see, like I was mostly in Brooklyn. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was actually very cute over there. But I wonder what the difference is between LA and New York, like vibe-wise.
Okay, so vibe-wise, I don't know if I can totally speak on LA vibes because I've only done 2 gigs out there. And I don't think I loved it. I don't want to say too much because I'm like afraid of who's going to listen to this, but I'm just going to say I didn't love it. And I wonder if maybe I'm just not meant for that place, but I also don't know if I gave it enough time. New York I'd be curious to know if like it would be an area where that you have like the vibes that you do or what your trying to do more of would be out here. But I want to
Yeah.
get more into like what it is you do and how you got where you are, because I was shocked when I saw you have this big presence online now, and you did what you said you were going to do a long time ago, and that was so cool to see. A fellow small town Prescott, Arizona kid making it out here in this really tough industry. So what made you go into the angle of YouTube and all of that?
Well, initially it was like, I remember when YouTube first came out, and I thought, what a cool opportunity to just be able to share what you love with
Yeah.
the world. So it really started off as me just wanting to share my drumming. And I never went into it with the intention of it getting. The goal was always, I want to be picked up by some really famous band, go on tour and do the whole thing. And then as it just kept progressing, I really started enjoying the process of making videos. So I try to see it with that balance of like, it's not something that I see myself wanting to do forever because I'm 17 years into posting content now. And so
17
I go through
years.
these, yeah, I go through these seasons of getting just burnt out on doing the same kind of thing. But it's been an amazing, like, stepping stone to get involved in so many different areas. So it kind of started off with just this thing for fun and
Yeah.
then somehow branched into like a whole career, which is wild.
So for those of you who are like, oh, this Lindsey Ward person sounds really cool, she has a YouTube channel that has like over 200,000 subscribers. Her Instagram is popping. She did you say 135,000? Is how many people? Like, she's on TikTok. She's on everything. So to be having a wide net of people that come to your page, I can't imagine the work. I've even just alone this podcast, doing videos for this podcast makes me want to die sometimes. So I hats off to you for 17 years of YouTube video content. Wait, do you ever watch like the old videos of yourself, or do you not watch
Sometimes,
yourself?
sometimes. It's been a while, but I've watched them back.
What's one of your favorite? Well, now we're talking about 17 years. Is there a video in your brain that like sticks out that you're like, this is one of my favorites that I've done?
It's a good question. I think when I lived in LA, I did a couple series. I don't know if you're familiar with Cobus. He's a
Mm.
drummer, and he was the OG YouTube guy. Like he was
Oh,
the first person to ever post a drum video online. And him and I have had a really close friendship for a very, very long time. And when I lived in LA, our paths crossed for a while. And he let me come in and use his studio. And we did 3 separate series of videos where he was kind enough to let me use the space. He mixed all of my drums for me. He did all the video work and everything, which was so much fun. But there was one series we did at Drum Channel, and Sia Chandelier is probably one of the main ones that sticks out because that was my first ever viral video. That one kind of has a sentimental spot.
what was that like when your video went viral? What did you do next? How do you go from there?
It was crazy. It was very interesting. Yeah, because I remember I was trying to figure out what songs I wanted to do because we only had 2 days to do this work. And I was like, everyone that I had mentioned, these are the songs. People are like, don't do pop stuff. And I was like, I have to. I love playing pop music, and I'm so glad that I didn't listen to people's opinions because it ended up doing so well. But it was a very interesting time because I couldn't afford to have my own space living out in LA. So after that video went viral, every other one that I had done under that series started taking off as well. And then I couldn't create anything else for like 2 years. So I kind of missed that train. It stopped and then I couldn't get back on it for a period of time.
What do you mean you couldn't for 2 years? Is that because you
Just the
stopped?
space and
Oh,
money, and I
yeah.
couldn't afford to set up anywhere and to pay people to, help me. I think about that sometimes. I'm like, I wonder what would have been different if I would have just kept going. Like every week was able to just keep posting over and over again.
That's so
Um,
crazy though that you still got here
it
even
still
with
worked somehow.
holding for 2 years. Like that's crazy. You
Yeah.
don't ever hear that.
Yeah. I don't know how it's been going on for so long, but I'm grateful.
Are you doing weekly drops of videos?
Yeah, now I'm able to. thank goodness. It's been really nice and it's helped so much with work. Being able to jump in full time is only because of consistency. So now definitely one a week. I'm trying to push for more of three a
Okay.
week, but I'm trying to hold out too much right now because I'm trying to build up and have something to always pull off of so I don't feel like I have to rush to try to find something to film because coming up with ideas is a lot sometimes.
Do you have someone that you work with that helps you like map out stuff, or you're doing all of your own video and your own editing and like,
Yeah, I
all of
do
that?
it all by myself, all of
Oh
it.
my gosh. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
absolutely is a full-time job. And congrats for making the full-time switch. I know that
Thank you.
leap is really scary. Um, we were talking offline about this. Like there was a point when I was teaching a lot of students here in the city. I had like 2 part-time teaching jobs and I was gigging quite a bit. And I remember like I should have gone full-time at that point. It was like quit the jobs, like just do what you love.
Yeah.
And I could not make the jump. I was too scared. And then I eventually did. I think it was, yeah, definitely 2021 when I finally made that leap, but
Yeah.
super scary. So what was the moment where you realized, okay, this is a career moment. I can make this my job.
I think a big part of it is delusion. Like just being delusionally hopeful and optimistic that something is going to work out. But uh, it was 2023, I think, is when I finally was able to quit my job for the first time and not have anything to fall back on. Like you said, very scary,
Yeah.
intimidating decision
Mhm.
to make. Um, but I got into the habit of just posting a video every other day for a whole year straight. And I just locked in. I didn't miss. And within that time frame, I experienced Sweetwater. Are you familiar with Sweetwater? Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing company. I started partnering with them. So they were sponsoring a lot of my stuff, and I was doing a lot of reviews and stuff for them, which was one consistent source of income that I had. So I think once I officially made that partnership with them, I was able to fall back and not have to worry so much about having a day job anymore. So they were a big reason that I was able to walk away.
Shout out to Sweetwater.
Yeah,
Dang.
seriously.
It is so
They're
funny. Like
awesome.
whenever they would send an email in my head, I'm thinking, surely this is just like a bot or something. And then I remember the day I found out it was like actually someone behind there that's
Hmm.
doing all this. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I should respond to this.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're really, really great. And they do so much to help creators specifically. I still work with them to this day. They're great.
Are there any other organizations or companies that you are still like, oh, I want to work with them someday?
I think if we're talking brands wise, I think
Sure.
Vans would
Oh,
be one that I would just absolutely love to get involved with. They're the first one that comes to mind for sure.
one of mine is Taco Bell.
Oh, that's awesome. I
Like,
love that.
there was someone on one of my tours. She was like trying to partner with Taco Bell, and it was like my stomach dropped. I was like, that's a dream for me. Like that was my
So
go-to, like at post edible or like after a night out, just have some Taco Bell and go to bed.
yeah,
So to be sponsored by them, I think would be really cool.
that's awesome.
Dreaming big over here. Before I get into like some of the crazy stuff, what is one early gig or job that you'll never forget, good or bad?
Ooh, good or bad. I think it was the very first gig I ever got when I moved to LA.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
it was with a duo called Obi Clever, and I don't think they're doing anything anymore, but they were being heavily scouted out by record labels and stuff. And we got to play South by Southwest down in Texas, which was really fun. I think this stands out to me specifically for this opportunity, but we got to play a showcase for Red Bull Records where all the execs came in and we actually
Ooh,
played live for them. And things just don't seem to work like that anymore. Like everything is online. So I think having that opportunity of actually doing the band thing and having the execs there was a really big standout thing for me. I
that's
think that would be
awesome.
the one. Yeah.
What would you say is the weirdest or funniest thing someone's asked you to do on a gig?
I don't know. if I have one, to be honest.
Oh,
Yeah, I've mostly played with rock bands, so it's kind of very much just like do your thing and just show up and play.
okay.
Um, One thing though, I will say with that first band, their manager, when we used to practice, he would turn up the heater in the room to like 95 degrees, and he would force
Why?
us to do like a 2-hour rehearsal in a 95-degree room to prepare us for what it's like to play on stage. And I just remember wanting to die every single time that we had rehearsal. And he wouldn't let us off the hook. Like we weren't allowed to, there was no other option. Like we had to play in a heater, basically.
Did it help? Do you feel like you're glad you did that, or are you like,
No, no, I would have been fine. I think we all would have been fine.
that's nuts? Was
It's
this recent?
exhausting anyway. So, no, that was back in maybe 2014.
See, I was gonna say, I don't know if things like this would fly now.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think they would either. Yeah.
No, that's crazy. Do I should I even ask if you have a gig horror story, or is that kind of the horror story?
I feel like that might fall into that category.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah. Okay, but
Yeah.
now on the other side, what is the most rewarding gig moment for you? Or you could even, into your like, your YouTube stuff, whatever, however it
Yeah.
applies to you.
Might take me a second to answer.
Oh, it's all good.
I think it's a good question. I have so many little moments that stand out.
Share them all.
I think my first ever tour experience was really cool. Taylor
Who is
Bono.
that with? Oh,
I went
okay.
out with Taylor Bono. We opened up for Fletcher before she like blew up and got really, really famous. Because that was my first ever tour, I really, really enjoyed that. And I think now, currently, I have some really cool things going on. I don't know how far into the conversation I'm allowed to get, but I will say it
Got it.
involves television and film. And I'm very, very excited about this
Oh, that's
new
wonderful.
direction. So,
That's
yeah,
awesome. And is this like, will you have to move? Can you stay where you are?
I think I'll be able to stay where I am.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't wait to see like later on, once, whatever it releases, I'll be like, oh my God, that's what she was talking about.
Yeah. 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 I'm
Okay.
excited.
Have you ever done a gig you swore you would never do again? And any advice on this?
I can do this with session work. Live gigging, I don't think so, but with session work, really early on, when I first started doing remote sessions, I did a whole song for someone and they took the song and I never heard from them again. And I never got paid. They like totally ghosted me. They stole my track. And I think in that moment, I was like, I don't know if this is something that I want to do because that was a horrible thing that had happened. So I think getting back into doing session work because I love it so much, I just had to make very strict boundaries and rules on the payment needs to come through first. Like everything needs to be completely solidified before I will give anybody anything. Now, you never know, especially dealing with people on the internet. You just don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, I had to learn the hard way. I would say like when I started gigging in the city, just not knowing even where to set my rates and stuff. I was charging ridiculously low. And then I had one, they didn't pay me for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I was actually nervous I wasn't gonna get paid. But then I mean they eventually did. But no, I have friends who went on tour that they never got paid for a certain thing. The one thing that I was shocked to learn was a lot of times on tours, they don't actually do contracts. It's just like, okay, this is what you do. You show up. It's just what it is. And so that's one thing about our industry, even though there's other things that have evolved so much. Like, oh,
Yeah.
not everything has a contract. But that was like my biggest thing is have a contract.
Well,
So,
that's interesting hearing too, because you've done like big stuff. So
yeah.
I'm surprised.
And it's like, yeah, and it's all over the place. Like, even I had something that I just did 2 days ago. There was no contract, and I feel like there probably should have been one. But I mean, I wasn't
Interesting.
contracting it. I'm curious to see how that one's gonna pan out. Just some weird things were happening on that gig. Gosh, see, it's so hard to like pick and get gossip about certain things because I'm like, don't want to give away what it's going to be someday. But yeah, no matter the level of the artist or whatever, even if it's a higher up person, so to speak,
Yeah.
there have been some weird pay things all across the board. And I've had
Yeah.
some that are, small artists no one's heard of, that it's the most succinct and honest work I've done. That's like the part about our industry that is also so frustrating, but I guess cool at the same time, is we are constantly adjusting depending on the gig, and it's not the same across the board. I'm sure I'm sure you, even in your world, your rates, you'll change your rates depending on whatever the gig is and the drive and whatever.
I'm starting to. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's starting.
All right. Pivoting into hot takes and all that, because you're someone that's just in the light all the time. When has exposure actually helped your career, and when was it just like a BS thing?
I think the one thing that helped the most was, I know it, I'm just beating a dead horse, but posting consistently on social media was probably hands down the biggest thing that helped. What I thought would help but didn't was probably trying to jump on a lot of trends, trying to
Oh,
follow in line of what other people were doing. It just never seemed to work for me. And I'm glad that it
say
didn't.
trend? Like what's an example of a trend that you did? Is it like a song that was popular?
Yeah, like transitional type of videos, like I see or have seen in the past, specifically with female musicians.
Oh,
You'll start the song off one way wearing one outfit, and then there will be a pivotal point where you'll be wearing something else in the next shot. Things like that. It never, I never vibed with, I tried and it never stuck. So, yeah.
there was a photographer on my last gig. She's so talented, and she would say, "Okay, I want you to do this. Like, you should do this on your TikTok and make this video, and then I'm gonna swipe it, and then we're gonna do it before the show, you in your outfit." And I was just like, "Oh, okay." Like, these things I don't even think of. And I was joking with her, like, "You're single-handedly gonna give me a social media presence, because I'm so bad at it." And then we didn't even finish the video. We both forgot. So
Oh no.
so I have half of the video of me like lip syncing to this Tame Impala song in my sweats, and it's supposed to transition, and then the draft is just still in my TikTok, and she's gone. She's in Switzerland now on another tour, and I'm like, well, I'll finish that at some point. We'll see. But
Yep.
yeah, I don't know, like that. How do you stay motivated to just do these? I guess the consistency. How
Yeah,
does it not suck the life out of you?
it does. It does. I mean, honestly, it does. I think the reason that I have any kind of motivation to keep doing it is because they're just things that I haven't experienced yet
Mhm.
that I just really would love to have the chance to do. And I feel
Oh,
like if I stop doing what I'm doing, just lesson learned, like what we talked about earlier with the YouTube hiatus and stuff, and especially now because things are just so much different now. Like, and it sucks because it really is a game. It's like playing a game. And if you step away for too long, you kind of you start to fall off. It's just the way that things are now. What has not happened yet is what keeps me pushing.
and that is exactly what I was going to ask you, is what is something you're still chasing for your career?
Well, two main things. I would love to do an arena tour. Like that has been like my bucket list since we went to school together. Like I just want to play arenas.
Does it matter who with?
No, no. I just want the experience of doing something like that. I don't care who with. Just I want to be able to say in my life, I worked so hard. I got the opportunity to do this. But that would be amazing. And then I want to establish myself better as a session musician. And I would love to play drums on a record of someone that I just love, like Gwen or someone of that caliber, even if it was just one song, to be able to say that I did something like that is
Mhm.
the goal. So,
Amazing. Okay, that was a really good answer. Now, because you're in YouTube and constantly churning out content, what is the biggest misconception people have about what you do?
ooh, I would say that followers equals financial stability.
Oh, interesting. It doesn't? See, I don't even know. I'm like, I don't
It
know what.
doesn't at all.
Okay.
No, I think people have this idea that if you have a really strong following online, that you are like living this high luxury, great life. And it just does not work like that. Yeah, it's very hard. Very, very hard to make a living. As a musician, I couldn't say for like a standard like influencer type job, but for music specifically, everything is copyrighted. Unless you're posting original content, you can't monetize anything. So it's tough.
Oh.
Yeah.
So when you post covers, this is more of a selfish question because I write arrangements for strings and stuff. If you're using the audio from that song, how do you credit that or how does that work?
The artist gets all of the money. Like either the
Oh.
band or the record label get any kind of income that comes from the video.
Is there any way for you to get money from that or that's just the deal you have to take?
Yeah, that's just kind of what you have to accept.
I wonder if there was a loophole around that to where, well, I guess maybe not the singer, but if just recreated the song with different artists and had them do the parts and then release it as like a full cover, if you wouldn't have to, they'd probably get a royalty or maybe you would be able to then get royalties for your cover in particular.
Yeah. So if you're the one who is recording the
Mhm.
song, so you could do a full cover of a song, but if you're recording every instrument, then it wouldn't flag as a copyright. But you'd
Um,
have to have like a full band come in and recreate the whole song. Okay.
all right, home stretch here. What is one item or piece of gear that you cannot live without?
If we're gonna do drum wise specifically, I would say my Yamaha EAD10,
And for
which
the people,
who have no idea what that is.
I mean,
Um,
like, I know everything, but someone might not. So I have no idea what that is.
um, it's so cool. It's a microphone, just a single microphone that clamps on to the bass drum, and you
Ooh.
just plug your phone into it. And there's like this tiny little module. It's only about this big, and you can like mix your whole kit, and you can just record right into your phone, and you can do audio and video in one thing. So it's so cool. Any opportunity I have to use that, I do. So I'm obsessed with it.
So do you mix your own stuff too?
I do. Yeah. Everything's individually mic'd that I have on my kit now. But like the EAD10 I'll use for practice. If I have an idea that I have to record and just get out really quickly, I'll use the EAD10, but my kit is pretty much all individually mixed right now.
Wow. And then I'm
Yeah.
assuming, do you keep the same mix across everything for
hmm
ease? Nice.
Yeah. I
Okay.
have a template set, so every time I record, I can just have the same tones.
I wasn't even going to ask this question, but now that we're talking about it now, I want to know what is your process when you're getting a cover or you're going to record something? What are the steps that you do? Obviously, you find the song and then you record it. What comes after that? Because you're doing everything yourself.
Yeah. So I guess a quick rundown top to bottom would be I usually record songs based off of just something that I really love that I'm
Hmm.
currently listening to. I don't really plan covers. I just go with whatever I'm listening to at the time. So I have an electronic kit here at home that I'll practice on, and I'll kind of dial everything in before I go to my studio. By the time I get there, I'm pretty much ready to film, which is nice. So I'll usually do sometimes like 4 videos a day, just kind of film everything at once. And then since I have that template that I record into, it makes that process so much easier. Trying to think of like the easiest way to explain this. So you take the video clip and then the audio, and you mute the audio from your recording,
Yep.
and then you dub your mixed audio on top of the video and then add the song in. I use an app where I take the original drums out completely. So all you're hearing is my recording. And then everything just exports into one video. But it is quite a process. I would say for one, even just 30-second video, it could probably take a couple hours from filming to finishing and having the exported video ready
And you do 3 to 4 of those in one time.
in a day, typically. Yeah.
Oh my God, Lindsay. you deserve this clout and this success because there's not a lot of people who could do
Thank you.
this. Not only are you talented, but you have
Thank you.
perseverance that I'm exhausted just hearing this. There's no way.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. Sometimes I feel like I'm kind of an autopilot with the
I
video stuff, but
I feel like we kind of have to be.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I told you I'm trying to do more. I have these arrangements that I just like need to get out there, and I know it'll only help me get more work. So, I have done 1.5 so far. My original goal this year was to do like one a month, and I'm just like, I don't know how people do this. This is exhausting.
You can do it. You
I'll
can
get
do
there.
it.
Yeah, I'll text you in like a month and be like, hey, so this is more for my accountability. This is what I've gotten done since we last spoke.
Cool. I'll watch anything that you want to send me if
Perfect.
you want feedback. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, dream collab. Do I answer this for you? Is it Gwen Stefani? Is there someone else that you'd want to collaborate with?
Gwen would definitely be in the top for sure. I would
Oh,
also just love to play drums with Travis Barker at some point. Just like in the same room as him. Just jam.
oh, this just made me think of another question. Is there someone in your field? This is kind of tea-ish. Is there someone in your field that everyone's like, this person's so good, or like, have you heard this person? And you're just like, I don't see it. Is there anyone like that in the drumming world?
Yes. Can I say their name? Probably
I'll
not.
say I'll say one. So my
Okay.
very first boyfriend, he was a drummer, and I remember him and his friends used to hate on Neil Peart.
Oh, okay. From Rush? Really?
Yeah. But yeah,
That's surprising.
his influences I think were more the gospel drummers, and they were into like gospel and jazz drummers and
Okay.
all that. So they
That's
were
fair.
always like, no, he's not that good. But I don't know.
I always feel like one of the primary ones I hear people say is Lars from Metallica. Like
I've heard that one.
yeah, he probably gets more hate as a drummer maybe than anyone I've ever seen. But it's all like in good fun, which I can appreciate a good sense of humor. But yeah, he's kind of one of those like Neil, in my opinion, is one of the most incredible drummers ever. But it's funny because there's some people who also see Lars that way. It's all subjective, I guess, depending on the kind of music that you listen to.
Interesting.
Because I hear that about Travis Barker too. He's my favorite drummer of all time. And I hear so many people say they think he's so overrated. And I just don't understand how someone could think that, but they do.
Yeah. Do,
So
do you do you follow the drummers for like famous pop artists and stuff? I feel like they're always just killing.
they're incredible. Yeah.
Well, he died, but Aaron Spears. I don't know anything about drumming, but I would sit there and just be amazed by every single video of him.
Yeah. Yeah. He was in my top 5 favorite drummers. So Travis, Aaron Spears is definitely one. There's an incredible drummer from New Zealand. His name is Stan Bicknell. He's amazing. He played with Kimbra and he just
Oh,
did a run with Natasha Bedingfield. So he's in more of the pop world.
okay.
He's one of my favorites. He is so awesome. Annika Niles, he just got the Rush gig, which I think is one of the coolest things to ever happen for a woman musician. I'm just going to say Adrian from No Doubt. I feel like he's underrated. He has an awesome pocket. So I'm going to say Adrian.
Love that. If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing instead?
Working with animals to some capacity,
Oh,
like having a dog rescue or a veterinarian, maybe, but definitely animals.
you're like the third musician I've talked to, not even on the podcast, but I did just do an episode with one of my photography friends, and she said the same thing. There's so many of us that I don't know if there's a crossover between music and animals, but we all just would have been veterinarians or something with animals if we weren't doing this.
I love that.
What is one piece of advice you would give freelancers starting out now?
I think finding any way that you can just be as true to who you are as possible. Because I feel like, especially like in the world of social media and stuff, everything feels kind of oversaturated. And like you
Mm,
kind of need to copy what everybody else is doing in order to get somewhere. And I think it's quite the opposite. So I think like stay true to just who you are and why you started doing what you love in the first place. And I think just as much resilience and perseverance as you can possibly have, something is bound to happen for you. So you just got to keep going. You can't quit.
Oh, you're even inspiring me. It
No,
even no, but like seriously, and like in the grind of things, it's so easy to get burnt out and everything.
yeah,
So
it
absolutely
is.
100%. I have two more here. What's one thing this career taught you that no one could have prepared you for?
I feel like I could talk about this for a long time. I'm trying to shorten it up in my head. I think one thing is that it's a lot harder to get your foot in the door than what you imagine when you first start. It takes a lot more work and more time, I think, than what you would ever expect. And you have to learn how to develop pretty thick skin along the way if you want to keep doing it. Because there's a lot of rejection involved in this line of work. Know who you are outside of what you're doing, I think is important.
I love that answer. My final question for you. How do you define success now compared to when you started? Because you've come a long way, sister.
Oh, thank you. So have you, by the way. I've loved watching what you're doing. It's so cool.
Thank you.
No, it's so
Yeah.
awesome. I think initially starting out, it's interesting because I think I've known that I've wanted to play music my whole life. So I feel very fortunate having just that one goal in mind. But I think when I first started, it was definitely more about just being famous, was like I want to be a rock star. And I think I learned how to tie that to if you're not making $1 million, if you don't have 1 million followers now, if you're not playing massive arena shows, like you're a failure and you're not succeeding at what you're doing. And I have had like a complete 180 in that perspective. I think
Good.
success now is very much about just having peace and fulfillment in what you're doing. And I think if you can just make an average living doing what you love, that you are successful. There's no doubt about that. And it sucks that we kind of twist what that looks like and what that means because I think people give up on their dreams a little bit too early because if it
Totally.
doesn't look like that,
Mhm.
then they think that they're failing. So that's been a huge mentality shift that I've had for sure.
I think that goes also hand in hand with the regular 9 to 5 corporate jobs. I don't know if you ever
Mhm.
got this, but especially when I was starting to date again, I remember several times when I would be on a date or out socially, and I said I was a violinist, and oh wow, that is just so cool, following your passion. But like, what's your real job? And it used to bother me so much getting that question, and it took a long time to get to a place where I wouldn't feel like ashamed, I guess,
Yeah.
and being like, no, that this is my job, and actually, yeah, it's really cool. I make my own hours, and um, I I get to take the work I want to do, and I actually like going to work or like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Um, but in a world where we're full of that is kind of the norm is to have a 9 to 5 in a salaried position. To go against that, making your own path is so incredibly difficult.
It
It's
is.
crazy to me that we actually are looked down on because I feel like in a lot of ways we kind of have to be more creative and have a bit more grit because there's not just a path created for most of us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I agree. I totally agree.
and also what you said about your answer, it was very similar to what my therapist used to tell me. So, of just like measuring success and everything. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really good answer. Well, wow, this has been amazing. And I honestly can't wait till the next time I visit Arizona. I'm going to hit you up and we can
Okay.
actually hang out in person and have a
Yes.
reunion. I'm going to dig up a picture somewhere of the both of us in our weird ass uniforms and I'm going to post it. Well, if it's okay with you.
Oh, yeah. No, of course. Yeah. Go ahead.
But thank you so much for your time and sharing your talents with the world. And it's, it is just so effing cool to see your success, your passion, and sharing it with everyone, and also having the tenacity to make this platform. I have so much respect for you. It's like overwhelming. I can't believe what you've done. And then just now hearing everything that goes into it, I'm just like, oh my God, I would have to pay someone to do one of those things, or at least 3 of those things. It's not happening.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I feel the same way about you, by the way. So,
Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, there will be a reunion, an in-person reunion here coming up. So yes, please check out Lindsey's Instagram and her YouTube channel. Your Instagram is it Lynn Raye Ward? Did I get it right?
yeah.
Lindsey. So do you go by Lindsey Raye? I didn't even ask.
It kind of just stuck online for whatever reason. In the beginning of all this, I just decided to put my middle name in there, and it just stuck. So, but it's not like necessary.
I think that's great. Yeah, so you could find her on Instagram, Lynn Raye Ward. And is that the same handle for, do I say for YouTube, or is it just your name?
Yeah, YouTube is just my full name. So Lindsey Raye Ward, and then TikTok is Lynn's Raye Drums. It's different on each one.
Yeah, definitely check out her stuff. She has a ton of content. She's quite talented on the drums. If you have your own gig story, DM me on Instagram at fortheexposurepod, or you can email me fortheexposurepod@gmail.com. The music was composed by Tiger Darrow. This podcast is produced by Weiss Artistry Production. We'll see you next time.